Peace to the YouTube fam. Peace to the Bulldogs universe. See the Cam Glamarati had to get on somebody's head a couple of days ago. Keep telling y'all stop fucking my Camelot Pitbulls, be like y'all got issues. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit this evening, man, uh, about conditioning pit bulls and using dogs to develop the dogs, right? Um, so we are conditioning for hunting season. We'll be hitting the woods this fall slash winter, and part of our conditioning uh, is going to be, we have larger dogs. Quite honestly, the prey we're going after are smaller than our dogs, right? So that's means they'll likely be more agile, more light on their feet, um, and more long-winded, right? So, in order for us to have any type of success, position to where we can develop the animal in the direction that we want to, you know, in the direction that we think we're gonna actually be most successful, right? So, part of this is to understand that the dogs have to be able to have a certain amount of agility. The dogs have to have a certain amount of wind, right? Muscle endurance, and then they have to have a good amount of finish, right? It's one thing to run down the prey. It's another thing to actually lay hold to the prey. But when prey is fighting back, now you got to be able to finish. And so that's the goal of the conditioning program, right? And we will teach that to the dogs, in spurts, or we will put that conditioning on the dogs in stages and degrees, right? Um, so basically, what you see today in this particular training session was I was working the dogs in an area of grass that has heavy moss, right? And you'll see solos just jumping down into this area. This heavy moss really causes the dogs to dig down deep when they're running. So beginning in the video, you see the dogs really having to dig in deep. That moss gives the same kind of footing that you would get almost in on a beach, right, with sand, right? So it causes the dogs to really have to dig in like that. So after really working the dogs at high intensity, right? Um, then we continue to kind of not so much work the dog, but keep the dog moving, right? We want to keep the dog moving, and then again, hit them with that high intensity workout. Now, one of the beauties of bringing along a pup and having a dog with good drive and properly socializing those animals together is that you're able to use an adult dog to help to develop a young pup, right? So here we see Solo. He's going to go the extra length because he's trying to compete with a female, right? And that just his trying to keep up with her is going to make him a stronger, more athletic dog. It's going to give him more muscle strength, muscle endurance, muscle conditioning. It's going to give him better wind, and he's going to understand kind of what it takes to really have to go and finish, right? So this is actually their second round after a very short cool off period, right? You see, we walked them up the road a little bit, and they're cool offly uphill. Then we brought them out to this flat land. So originally we worked them on a small incline, right? That had plenty of sort of soft footing, right? So that they really had to dig in and really move and really exercise those muscles, really push themselves. That kind of this kind of activity is great for quick muscle twitch activity. And the prey that they'll be hunting, uh, because these dogs are bigger, that prey is likely going to try to avoid that first contact, that the initial contact. So the dog's going to have to be able to pursue the prey and then take that prey. That's why we are conditioning the way we are conditioning. I understand that hunting is not for everybody, especially hunting with dogs. Um, but you have to understand this is the purpose of the Camelot dog, right? The Camelot dog was actually bred to hunt much larger prey than we'll be going after this season. But nevertheless, I think it's a great experience for my dogs, and it's a great experience for me. So we're gonna have that experience together. Um, so with that said, let's talk a little bit about how Reyna and Solo are getting along, right? So Reyna and Solo, uh, Solo is a puppy. In his mentality, he is very much a puppy. In his physical structure, right, he looks very much the big dog, right, the adult dog. Um, However, in his coordination, he's still very much a puppy, right? He has good instincts, but even in his temperament, he's still very much a puppy. So it is very good to use Reyna at this stage to help develop him. Number one, she's going to kind of teach him the laws of the pack. She's going to teach him his place in this thing, right? Um, she's not going to hurt him, but she's going to definitely check him where he needs to be checked. This right here is actually their first uh, kind of getting together without any leashes or any of that. Reyna was just brought in from a workout, so so I want to say I think we were doing some light drag work, and what I like to do um, in order to induce that strong finish is that after a workout, like drag work and things like that, is to let the dogs kind of have at it. You know, um, he's still a puppy, and she is kind enough not to hurt him, right? So when he does this kind of stuff, she'll put up with it for a little hot second, you know what I mean? And then eventually she'll get up and she'll check him and, you know what I mean, make his ass lay down or something. Um, which is, all that is as it should be. Uh, Bull understands that Solo's a puppy. He's my puppy. He's part of my pack. And so, Bull right now is not aggressive towards Solo, nor is Solo aggressive towards Bull. And we want to keep it that way. We want to really, really monitor that dog aggression. Um, and right now, I can honestly say, um, Solo still defers. He still knows he's a puppy. Here we see an excellent example of what I was talking about earlier, where she'll put up with it for a little bit, and then she'll sun him. She'll put him down. Um, but this was their first kind of hanging out together, kind of uninhibited or whatever. Normally, uh, what I've taken to doing is kind of letting them romp and really wrestle and really bang out a little bit. The more familiar they get with each other, the rougher they get with each other, all of that. So, uh, and that's simply because after the dog finishes the workout, they get a cool down period, you know. But now we want to see them work again. You know what I mean? We want to see them bring that thing down. Um, And when I say bring that thing down, I mean whatever prey it is, we want to see the dog working. We want to see the dog pushing past, the limits of the workout. And so then I'll give them a good 10, 15 minutes to just romp. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit about how I do what I do, man. I hope y'all have enjoyed this particular session. This is your boy Ray Imperial. It's been another edition of the Imperial Diaries, uh, late night edition. Just sitting back, you know, monitoring my dogs, man. Uh, One of the things that we'll be getting into in another video is we'll be taking a look at conditioning these larger dogs, that have a little more bulk, um, carrying a little more strength, man, carrying a little more power. You know, you don't necessarily want to try to condition that dog the same way you would condition a 40-pound dog, or even at the same rate or length of time that you would condition a 40-pound dog. And we'll bring some of those insights to light in a future video. But as for me, again, my name is Ray Imperial. This is Imperial Flame Kennels. It's been a pleasure having you guys stop by and chop it up with a fella. I love these dogs, man. I want to see them absolutely excel in their best environment. And hopefully going forward, we'll be able to, you know, show them in their best light, show them really doing what it is that they were bred to do. Imperial Flame Kennels. Y'all keep the heat.